Hello and welcome to another random review and how-to. Today we are reviewing the Cosmo 5U30 30-inch under cabinet range hood with ducted or ductless convertible. The kit's not included with it, just so you know. There is a link down below to this product if you'd like to buy it. So what I had going on here, we just redid our kitchen, got new countertops, painted the cabinets. We had a microwave here on the original design, added the backsplash, did it all ourselves. So everything you're seeing here is a DIY. Putting in this range hood was a DIY. So the microwave we had here actually came down. That did not give me much clearance over top of my stove. So I decided I wanted a range hood. I had a range hood in my last home. Really like it. So this range hood was easy, simple to put in. If you have cabinets up above it, it makes it a little easier. The first thing I did is I kind of measured out the hole. You can see there's still dust. I measured out the hole I had to cut. It's a 5-inch hole I put in there. So I cut that 5-inch hole. Also cut a 5-inch hole in the back. My garage is on the other side of this. I'll show you that. This ductwork here that I purchased was purchased separately. This little exhaust piping. Purchased that separately from Amazon. I'll have links to all of that down below. The soffit on the other side of the garage, also purchased below. Installation was actually super easy. This thing is very light. It came all boxed together. I'm going to show you a little bit of that right now. The packaging came together. The box was very light. It's a big box, but everything was kind of packed inside of itself. But it's a very light. It comes with the lights. It comes with the under screens. Everything is there. But all you got to do is kind of take it out of the box, get all the blue stuff off, and I'm going to explain that a little bit. It has all the protective covering on it. So let's talk about just the features of it right now. You have 3 fan speeds. The lowest setting they say is 40 decibels. It's very quiet. That is on right now. That's level 1, level 2. And that's level 3. Honestly, from a fan standpoint, not loud at all. Obviously, you could hear it, but it's not like a roaring, thundering, and it's not vibrating, which is great. That means it tells you it's installed. Your lights, definitely bright white. It's going to be really hard to tell on this video, but it's kind of like daylight color. So if you don't have that matching color in your kitchen, it is going to stick out. I will say that's the one thing. Even with our LED lights we have up here with our cans, which are set to the second brightest level, which is kind of like your outdoor, but not as bright. It doesn't match in color tone. So you can kind of see that here. It's a little more blue coming off the lights. But underneath here, when this all comes wrapped up, and you can see I still got a little bit of blue there. When it comes wrapped up, this actual whole piece here comes off. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. I'm not going to actually take it off, but I'll show you. These are the screen covers. So there is an option if you're going to go ductless. You're not going to duct it out. You can actually buy, I think it's going to be a carbon filter or some kind of filters that I'm assuming replaces these or goes on top of these. These are screens and vents. You're supposed to replace these, they say, but we'll see how junked up they get. You know, I cook a lot, so I'm using the stove almost every day or every weekend. So we'll see how these kind of hold up. But underneath there, you can see there's the interior. There's a lot of empty space. Your fan's right here. It's a lot of plastic. There is a switch. So depending on whether or not you're going ductless or duct, you would switch this. This would be ductless. So it just kind of spins itself within itself. It doesn't exhaust it out, I should say. And then this is if you're using ductwork like I am. Underneath, installation-wise, you have options to go ahead and drill it in the back there or drill it on the top. I went to the top. I went into the corner of the cabinets. There's 4 screws that I used, 1, 2, up here. And as you can see from the installation, I lifted this up with one arm myself and kind of held it up there. I lined it up on the corners, making sure I had kind of the same even gap on both sides. You can see I put my little thermometer up there. But by doing that, I was able to hold it and then kind of mark my screws, and then I was able to screw things in. I definitely stripped that screw. But I just went down into the corner of my framing here on the cabinet. So I didn't actually go through the bottom. My microwave was actually held together with bolts. You can see the hole for that. So I just went into the bottom of this, and because this thing's so light, it doesn't take a lot of screws to hold it up, which is great. I really appreciate that part of it, of how light it is. So if you are looking at this, so let's say you're at home, you have your Cosmo range hood, and you're having trouble getting the blue off of here, there's two little screws. There's one here and there's one here. And when you unscrew that, this whole piece comes down, and then these lights actually just pop out of here. There's a little kind of grip that you squeeze and they pop out. So you could replace these lights, I'm assuming, going that route, but to get the blue wrap that they had off, you do it that way. So overall, great value. At the time of making this video, this thing was $112. You can't really beat a nice range hood. It looks nice. Got, like I said, great fan speed. If you have a bigger area or bigger stove and you need more air sucked up, you're going to want to get something definitely that has more power than this. But for my use, I think that it works very, very well. So I like that. I like the ease of just being able to duct it out. I really wanted to get heat out of here. The microwave I had actually had a built-in range to it, but it would just push the air straight up. Now, this also has the option to exhaust out the bats. So I'm exhausting up the top here, but if I was to take this out, and you could go online and look at the photos, there is the opportunity out of the back here to actually knock out this back piece, and you'd be able to go through a wall. But there's a bunch of attachments you have to do with that. I will say, under here, and it comes with it, you'll see as I unboxed it, it has the little plastic circle piece that sits on top that this connects into. You want to make sure when you're measuring and cutting that you're taking into consideration that that piece has to come up and that it has to fit there. So as I was cutting out my circle, I was thinking about that having some clearance that had to come up through here, because it does stick out. And then this is actually just sitting on top of it. I didn't screw that in or use any kind of bracing to attach this piece. It's just, I'm letting good old gravity hold itself in there. And even with the air pressure coming up, it's not going anywhere. So overall, I love it. I say this is a 10 out of 10 product value. It's very thin stainless, so you got to just be careful. I cleaned it already once. It gets a lot of fingerprints. Obviously, it's stainless, so when I was installing it, it had fingerprints everywhere. But great product. As I said, look down below for the links if you're going to buy this. If you have questions about it, leave them below. I answer them. If you like this review, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.